Hi friends, this is lead editorial page article of The Hindu dated 2nd of July 2021. This article talks about the smart city and how pandemic has affected it and what should be the course correction because of pandemic. Listening to the article will give you opportunity to form your own opinion firsthand. So let's begin. Envisioning the post pandemic smart city. It's clear that the pathway for smart cities and also other towns not on the map needs to change. 6 years ago, the Bharatiya Janata Party led government started a journey of urban development based on the belief that a select set of cities across the country could be transformed and made smart after they were chosen through a competition among the states. The center could support the chosen project and others would learn from them. The idea of a transformation is indicated in BJP's manifesto for the 2014 election, where, in a reference to a squalor that has traditionally marked cities and towns, the party declared that this should no longer remain a reflection of poverty and bottlenecks. Rather, they should become symbols of efficiency, speed, and scale. This racy vision laid the foundation for a program to create 100 smart cities. The general concept. Globally, there is no uniform definition of smart cities, and the most common feature of such urban spaces are derived from concept in the global north. They generally have a technocentric vision. The sensors everywhere, smart homes, high levels of connectivity, massive and ubiquitous data collections by various agencies, and a continuous flow of useful information to citizens. All this, the reasoning goes, can help governments allocate resources optimally to take timely decisions to raise efficiency and improve standards of living. India's cities have well known infrastructure deficits, inadequate water supply, waste management, sewage and transport arrangements, high levels of pollution, and with climate change, frequent extremes of flood and drought. The answer to these, the Smart Cities mission, has been fashioned as an amalgam of upgraded civic services and expensive showpiece projects in the chosen cities, with the investment heavily influenced by the center. Now, a health focus. Before a complete critique of the expensive program could emerge, COVID 19 interrupted the lives of cities, confining people indoor for long periods, disrupting economic processes and paralyzing vibrant urban life. As the pandemic peaked, thousands had to desperately look for emergency medical care in scare health facilities, while the flashy smart developments built for leisure and shopping remain shuttered. Unsurprisingly, when the Smart City Award 2020, 2020 was declared recently, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs gave one component of the scheme, the Integrated Command and Control Centers, a health focus. These centers, of which 70 are operational, functioned as war rooms for COVID 19 and combined with other smart infrastructure developed under the mission helped cities in fighting the pandemic through information dissemination, improving communication, predictive analysis and supporting effective management, it said. This is remarkable. This is remarkably. This is a remarkable image of efficiency, but it would seem incongruous with the lived reality in several states and the national capital during the second wave of the pandemic, as people struggled for information and access to medical care. Yet one of the states that suffered heavily Yet one of the states that suffered severely, Uttar Pradesh, shot to the top for implementation matrices of the Smart Cities project. Apparently, because it achieved more than what was envisaged in the centrally supported schemes. It added its own set of state smart cities. The fact that UP, a crucial BJP ruled state scared by the pandemic, is bound for elections next year must, of course, be treated as a coincidence. Indore and Surat jointly won top city level awards, while Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu also won state awards. Infrastructural convergence. Over the years, smart cities mission projects converged with other infrastructure programs such as AMRUT, the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, and PMA Urban, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for housing. Some also get support from international agencies to adopt best practices on mobility and transport, energy, and reducing carbon emissions. The latest official count shows that 5,924 mission projects worth 1,78,500 crore have been tendered, indicating the scale of investment. This is in tune with some estimates that globally 90% of urban development by mid century will take place in developing countries. A focus on basic infrastructure prioritized by elected representatives was part of national policy since the third plan period 1961 to 66. Although the focus shifted to smaller towns away from Bombay and Kolkata in fourth plan. After decades of slow experiment, the post COVID 19 era will sharpen the question of how cities must evolve. The Danish urban design expert Jan Ghell, who is averse of the idea of smart cities and silly gimmicks, speaks of the universal value of a city as one that is a meeting place of people, inviting them to spend time, walk, bike, and roam around public, semi public, or private gardens. Pedestrian, pedestrian, Pedestrianization over motorization is also a marker of a good city. Although they try to accommodate some of these elements, India's smart city plans cannot really aspire for a structural shift in which the movement of people gets priority over vehicles. In fact, extending the green logic would imply a freeze on all divergence of wetlands and commons for any other development, creating new urban gardens and water bodies, and doing a climate change audit for every piece of infrastructure planned. A green and blue city would mean less destructive flooding, more water to harvest, and lower peak temperatures. All of it at very little expense. Use, of, use for the commons. Cities should be elegant, healthy, and smart after the pandemic if they apportion the available road space for bicycle, which exemplifies safe travel and can complement expanded public transport when commuters return in big numbers to bus and urban rail. This is consistent with the pan city goals of the smart city mission, but requires state governments to take resolute action. Bicycles represent the ideal urban travel bubble and must be moved from the margins to the center of policy. Pedestrianization, biking, and harmonious opportunities for street vending created by allocating more of the commons would also be fully democratic and address the criticism that smart city planning ignores the informality that makes India's urban spaces. This is valid for both cities being retrofitted with facilities and those being developed as greenfield sites. Can more of the commons be turned into farmers market, vending grounds, and craft centers? None of the none of this detracts from essential modernization, such as deployment of multiple sensors to gauge air, noise, and water pollution, provision of electronic delivery of citizen services, whether online or in a government office, intelligent public transport, expansion of renewable energy, recovery of valuable materials from waste remains a lost opportunity even in the biggest cities. It would, however, mean a shift away from flyovers, underpasses, and cheap parking lots that serve far fewer citizens. For citizens, real time control room can be meaningful only if they can have a good public dashboard of information. In COVID 19 times, this means access to health alerts, vaccinations, hospital beds, and topical advice, rounded off with data on pollution, rainfall, congestion, and so on. Democratizing smart cities planning has to ensure every section of society has a voice in the process and not merely those who have digital access. Pressure to frame projects, however, often cuts out many, and even elected representatives get short shrift. The Housing Ministry said last year that it had no plan to issue a report card for the 100 chosen smart cities, but was using the ease of living index measured through a public perception survey. Such measurements can be heavily biased if they are not broad based. Quality, quite tellingly, out of 32.2 lakh citizens in 111 cities who participated in a survey, the online channel, which could be accessed through a QR code or website, attracted 31 lakh 5,438 items of feedback. The pandemic has come as a remarkable opportunity to revive the paradigm of smart cities and to steer the course of hundreds of other towns that are not on the map. They should be helped to frame their plans around people and nature, to learn from mistakes and to avoid expensive technological solutionism.